Hey, you're listening to Fuse FM with me, Cordelia Milward. I'm currently at Academy 2 and I'm joined by Alex G. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, yeah. And you're playing tonight with Basement?
Yep, Basement and Tiger's Jaw.
Cool. Are they friends of yours or?
Now they are, I guess. We didn't know them that well before, but we're getting along pretty good. So.
Yeah. You're playing together for the whole tour?
Yeah, it's only about a week, I guess. But yeah, we've been playing, all three of us.
Because it wasn't that long ago, you were in Manchester, you were playing at Night and Day in October, just after the release of Beach Music.
Yeah.
So how is this kind of different to that?
This is different because we've been playing bigger venues since Basement is headlining, and we're opening the shows too. So.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
It's nice.
I wonder as well, like when you're touring with, your album didn't come out that long ago, how different is the sound from the record to when you play live? Does it change much?
Yeah, it changes a lot because the record, I use a lot of different instruments. It's just a different kind of texture on the record. It's a lot of acoustic guitar and a lot of keyboard stuff, and everything's a lot more subdued. And so live, we just take the essential melodic parts of the songs that are on the record and then convert them into a rock band.
Yeah, because on the record it's you write and record many by yourself. Mm-hmm. So is it hard trying to teach the band what you've written and how do you make sure they're doing it how you want them to do it?
It's not that hard because they're all really good musicians, and usually we sort of brainstorm together how to work it out, and it's more of a collaborative process. It almost works like a cover band, and we're all working together to make the song pack the same punch that it does, but with the beats that we have, and so it doesn't bother me that much because I already know that it's not going to be anything like the record, so I just let it be its own thing. Yeah,
so that doesn't bother you, they're just two completely separate things.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Because you're by yourself when you're recording. Is it ever quite daunting when you're on stage? Suddenly, this thing that was quite intimate, just you at home, is suddenly you're open to not only a whole band but also a massive audience.
Yeah, it was that way. But I've been playing shows since I was pretty young.
Yeah. Okay.
So at this point, it's just something that I don't even think about too hard.
Yeah.
It just sort of happens.
It's interesting because a lot of the reason why people like you so much is because they kind of branded you as this lo-fi icon, which I think could be interpreted as kind of oxymoron. But I definitely agree. Especially on Beach Music, a lot of the songs are quite short. Everything about it is very concise and real attention to detail. Everything you're writing about is very ordinary things. I wonder if you see yourself in a kind of opposition to this sensationalist, over-the-top performing, the whole performance of music.
I don't think about it too much, actually.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm just trying to make it sound really good to me.
Yeah.
And as far as the lyrics go, I just write about things that are important to me.
Yeah.
So I guess you could interpret it however you want. It's not important what I think about it. I think it's just whatever anyone else wants to think about it is what's important.
Beach Music was released on Domino Records, which is a huge label. You once said that you didn't want to go into the studio because, I don't want to quote you,
no,
but I've heard that you've said you don't want to go into a studio because you're worried about how other people might make you do things, and you're worried about losing the control. But do you find being on a larger label, are you ever put in a position where you're losing that control? And especially now you're coming into the public eye a lot more, you're growing as an artist, do you find you're being told what to do a lot more, or do you still have that control?
Yeah, definitely I do get told what to do a lot more. But Domino is a really good label. I feel I always have little minor complaints, I hate, getting pressured to do stuff. But I have to preface these statements with the fact that Domino's, they're really user friendly or something.
Okay.
They're transparent when I need them to be transparent, so they're really cool. But yeah, the nature of the music industry is you kind of have to sell yourself, and the label has to sell you or the band, and that is something that it's hard for me to be comfortable with.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just trying to pick and choose my battles, and maybe get to a point, maybe this career will keep moving upward, and I'll get to a point where I can make my own rules about how I present myself.
Yeah. I suppose it gets to a stage where it's kind of inevitable when you're, I don't know, like releasing on a label like that you're going to have to do some things you don't want to do. I don't know if anyone gets away with just being like, no.
Right. Yeah, if you do that, then it usually doesn't. I don't know. Actually, I don't have any like anecdotes. I don't have any facts about anything, but it doesn't seem like you get very far if you stick to your own guns the whole way and saying no to everything.
Yeah, because obviously you were putting music up on Bandcamp for years and years, and like I wonder if you were consciously thinking, I want someone's going to find this one day, or you just, you said earlier you just ran for yourself.
Yeah, like I wrote it because obviously I had a fantasy, like, maybe I'll get picked up by a label or something, but it was 90% the fact that I would just get feedback from my peers and stuff who I'd play shows with or I was friends with. I'd put it up online, send it to them, they'd download it and be like, oh, it sounds really good. I'd be like, awesome, and then I'd make another one.
Yeah.
And that's just
so you've been given feedback from the start.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think anyone would make music in a vacuum, It's a way to express yourself, and you can't express yourself if you don't expect anyone to listen.
I guess you're like writing and recording at home alone. How do you separate your music from just like your everyday personal life? It must be hard because obviously you don't want music to become a chore or...
Right.
But then if it's at home, then how do you kind of differentiate between...
So far it's not a chore. It hasn't been a chore because I just enjoy it, doing it so much, and it's kind of become like a mutated part of my identity.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's like if I don't do it for a while, I feel like I'm misrepresenting myself or something. So I feel like I feel obligated to do it. So in a way it's a chore, but it's a chore that I really enjoy in the same way that you enjoy like talking about yourself or something. You know what I mean? Like it just...
So there isn't really a difference between the Alex who makes music and the Alex who brushes his teeth and goes to the shops.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think it's like, it's not that there's no difference. It's just that this is one part of me and this is the other part of me, and they don't really exist at the same time. But
have to exist together.
I can express myself here and I can live my life here, and that's why I do it so much.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of your songs seem like they're kind of characters or personas. How much of that is imaginary and how much of it is kind of you?
I guess all of it is like a combination of both. It's all just exaggerated personality traits that I have or that I've experienced in other people, It's always a combination.
Yeah, it's funny. I like to imagine that quite a lot of them are kind of imaginary friends. What kind of an impact, or if at all, like drugs has on your songwriting, lyric writing?
As someone I should probably... It's got no impact that's worth talking about, It's just, I guess sometimes they cause trouble in people that makes something worth writing about, and someone's like has an issue.
Yeah. Definitely in some artists it's kind of unavoidable. I was reading interviews with kind of Kevin Parker and stuff, like that's what everyone will ask. Tell us about your experiences in the desert when you're up a tree, and like how it's they sort of unattachable, but yeah. Yeah,
there's nothing I can tell you that's I was on acid and riff. Like it's not like that. Just they're a source of inspiration because they're really present in our society, American society, and they definitely mess with people's heads a lot and change people around.
For a creative benefit, or do you mean in general?
Just in general, I guess on the new album there's just a few songs about people who they're not totally about it, but it's like I knew a few people who were dependent and had big issues because of that, so it's a source of inspiration.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that I'm a student of literature at uni here too, and obviously you were in Philadelphia. It was about a year ago you dropped out to take on music as a full-time thing. I wondered at what point were you it's everyone's dream to kind of kick in education. So many of my friends are like, just could give it up for music, whatever. At what point were you actually no, I really think this is something I can do? It was kind of achievable.
I guess it was when I was getting offers from different record labels, and they're offering to pay me to make records. The only reason I was in school was because I wanted to get a job that would pay me well.
Yeah.
I figured, okay, here's an opportunity where I can make money. It's pretty secure, so it defeats the purpose. And it's something that I love to do, so
Yeah.
just defeats the purpose. So it was just when money became feasible in music, that's when I decided.
Had you ever before thought that it would ever be feasible?
Like I said, I would fantasize about it, but I wouldn't let myself really go there because it's something that is pretty unlikely. Well, I'm not sure because the world I'm in now, I'm meeting a lot of people who are making money doing music, so it seems like, it's not
so easy.
So hard, yeah. But I don't know. It still, I guess, is unlikely.
Yeah. I'm asking this because you're obviously talking to student radio, and I wondered if you had any advice for students thinking of pursuing music alongside their studies.
Any advice?
Or like, you obviously were like, hey, this is it, I'm kicking the can for music. Like people who are, I don't know, how important, you just said that you were in school for like to be able to get a job, to be able to afford to live, whatever. But a lot of people have that dilemma, like lots of people go to school just because that's what everybody else does.
I don't know, I think it's a unique situation.
Yeah, of course.
So it would be hard for me to say, I think for me, the answer became clear. It was really unclear for a long time because I knew I loved music and I knew I did not like school.
Yeah.
But it became clear. There was a point where I knew what I had to do, So just wait for that point, if you're
unsure. It wasn't so much of a sacrifice as such. It was like, okay, now's the point.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. It wasn't a sacrifice at all.
So 5 years from now, where do you think you'll be?
No idea.
I'm guessing you're 22, right?
I actually just turned 23 a couple of days ago.
Did you? Oh, happy birthday.
Thanks.
So you'll be 28.
Hopefully, I have no plans. Probably right here doing the same.
Right. In this tiny little room.
Yeah. Hopefully it lasts,
Yeah. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Either that or maybe, I don't know. I actually have no idea. Probably, yeah. But my best guess is I'll be here, probably opening for a band.
The basement.
Yeah, opening for a basement.
So you're pretty content with what you got right now.
I just don't want to hope for anything.
Okay. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Yeah.
It's been great. I'm very excited about seeing you later.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. You've been listening to Cordelia Milward with Alex G. Very excited for the show later.